Thanks for listening to Middle Aged and Mediocre. I'm Cash.
I'm Joel.
And we are a podcast about all things strange and unusual, death and UFOs, and other creepy,
cults,
weird, random
ghosts.
There you go.
Yeah. Not just naming things in the room.
Oh my god.
There's a cult of ghosts.
So you are ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, so Joel is ready.
I stay ready. For the last month, I've just been ready to record.
Well, then in 3, 2, 1.
Hey, everybody! Welcome to the new season of Middle Aged and Mediocre. Season 3?
Sure.
I feel like we took a long enough break where this has to be a new season now.
Well, I think season 1 was... give me a second here.
Okay.
Season 1 was like a lot of episodes, and we've done 13 for season 2 so far.
Yeah, we're gonna do like a Walking Dead season of only 13 episodes.
Okay.
Now we're on season 3.
Hey, I'm down for it.
But we're gonna start with the last episode and then work backwards and end with the first episode. It's going to blow everyone's mind.
I hope you're going to do all that work, because I don't know.
I just did. That was the work that I brought.
Doing. So we're starting back with the first episode?
We're doing the last episode of season 3 first.
Okay.
And then it'll all make sense when we do the first episode at the end.
Okay. I got you. That works for me.
Just never bring it up again.
Yeah, never going to bring that up again.
Season 3, we're back!
So, hey, season 3, we're back. How long has it been? Since April, I believe.
Yeah.
April 24th. So it's been almost a month.
Yeah.
So I've had a lot of electrical issues.
I've had nothingness.
You've had nothingness.
My dad came and stayed for 3
yeah,
weeks.
you had dad issues. Yeah. I knew there was.
I love my dad so much.
I knew there were other issues.
And,
happening.
I know you love your dad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But could you imagine living with your dad for 3 weeks, waking up every morning he's there?
Right. I think from the sounds of it, I would definitely have better odds of surviving it than you.
It was fun.
I wouldn't have quite, because me and my dad would just sit and drink whiskey and listen. We listen to the same music.
Yeah.
So.
See, I'm drinking. I'm smoking. He's drinking. We're just two kind of opposite.
Yeah.
He's got Let's Go Brandon shirts. I got my Obama shirt. We're a sitcom.
Sounds like a sitcom is what I was going to say.
But we do love each other. We get along really good. And it was great having him in, but that's what I've been up to the last 3 weeks.
Did you learn any lessons at the end of every day like a sitcom?
I'd come and sit on his knee, and he'd say, "God damn, get off of my knee. I told you last night you're too big. I'm too old. What the fuck is wrong with you?" And I'd try to hug him, and he'd fight me off.
Okay.
But eventually, he's old, so he'd tire down.
Right.
I could get a good hug in.
Well, you are bigger and younger than him, so...
Yeah. I mean, if I want a hug from somebody...
he can only protest so much.
Yeah, I'm getting a hug.
Plus, he's been drinking, so...
Yeah, he has to walk with a cane.
Yeah.
I could definitely take him now. Growing up, it's the whole thing of, your dad could really kick your ass.
Right.
But,
now you just put his cane up too high where he can't reach it. What are you going to do, Dad?
It would not take much at all to push him over. Not that I've been thinking of that. Not that I watch him shuffle through the house and just thinking, man, I could just gore him right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this episode's getting used at your trial.
Gore!
Oh, you mean gore like rhino gore?
Yeah.
Like wrestler gore?
Yeah, I'm going to spear him.
Yeah, I thought you meant like a literal spear, like an actual physical.
No, I love my dad.
Like you were going to run a spear through his.
We got to do a lot of. We went to a lot of flea markets, and we got to do some thrifting, and it was good. It was fun to see him. That's definitely the most time I've spent with him in years. I'm going to see him for 3 or 4 days in the summer, every now and then.
Right.
But definitely.
This time he was like, "Hey, I'm going to come down and live with you for 2 weeks."
He's like, "I'm going to come visit for a little bit." And then a couple days turned into a week, turned into 2 weeks, turned into 3 weeks. And it's funny, your dad, they have, your parents just have that way of just reducing you back. They can just, no matter where you are in your life. He couldn't remember things from the night before, but we were just sitting there and he goes, "Remember when you were 17? And you said you couldn't wait to get the hell out of here?" I was on the phone with my cousin and he heard me like, because I was in my room and he must have been eavesdropping. I don't fucking
Right.
know. But I was like, why do you remember that? Like, I'm 42. How long? I can't even do the math for how long ago that was. And why are we talking about this? But
I
that's
can't do the math for it either.
like 20, I don't know, 27
A lot of years.
Yeah, it's a lot of years.
Yeah, so like he can't remember anything except for if it comes to being able to talk shit to you.
Yeah.
He's got that stored there in the data banks.
But overall, I'm not, I'm not trying to sound like a dick, like I hate my dad. I do
Right.
love my dad, but...
Well, you said all that before we started recording.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you're used to something. I mean, I've lived by myself now
Right.
since the split, I mean, I'm not used to having many people around for, more than just, a couple hours in the evening here and there.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be a fan of, like, my dad all of a sudden decided... Like
He's not a fan of wrestling. I'd watch wrestling. Play video games. You give me shit. He just likes to give me shit.
You should have just, like, waited for him to fall asleep and then put the VR goggles thing on him and then, like, found some crazy shit and got it running and then woke him up and just see what he'd be like, oh, my God, there's dinosaurs. Where am I?
He'd get up, run.
Yeah, so we had those issues,
Yep.
and then I've had a lot of electric issues.
It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie, woo.
Yeah, they haven't been fun like that.
No.
So if this episode turns out to be like really, really weird and like choppy, and
It's not your fault at all. It's the electric.
it's the electric, and it means that we had to start and stop.
Not the producer.
Yeah, this actually, if this just stops, it probably won't save, so we probably just won't have it. So
Yeah.
How weird is it? I was thinking this the other day. How weird is it that like, and I was not under the influence of anything when I thought of this, but podcasts are very weird to me because I was like, me and you just sit and talk. But, like, we try to talk to, like, 2 other people while we're talking, like, but we want them to come in and, listen. But, like, we don't know who they are or what they're going to be into. And we somehow managed to get, like, a shitload of people to listen to these, and that's very weird to me.
It is.
So that's what I was thinking of the other day.
Are you sure you were high?
I was not. I was very... It was just very
I'm a little
weird.
high, and you said that. Oh, I'm a little high, and you said that, and I'm like, yeah, man, people are listening to this. Well, it's like when that girl at the mall was like, "You're on that podcast." I was like,
Yeah. Like,
not me.
Not me.
I don't want to exist in real life.
No, nobody does. It's an awful, awful existence right now. There's monkeypox apparently happening.
Oh, I haven't heard of this.
Have you not heard of monkeypox?
No.
Oh, yeah, so that's a thing now.
Terrific.
Yeah, and
COVID's going down. Monkeypox is on the rise.
Yeah, I've read multiple things, so I don't know what's exactly true. But, yeah, so it was first discovered... It's like always been around for a while in other parts of the country, but it is just now making its way over to us. So that's cool.
Nice.
We try to find some...
When I was a kid, I wanted a pet monkey. Now I don't think I want anything to do with that shit.
Yeah, no,
I just don't. Like, a monkey just seems like a little tiny person, and people are the worst. So I can only imagine a little monkey. It's gotta be just the worst.
So yeah, it says. So this was from this year. This was from this month.
Okay.
Scientists at the Center for the CDC are collaborating with the Massachusetts Department of Public Health to investigate a situation in which a U.S. resident tested positive for monkeypox on May 18th.
How you get monkeypox?
Well, I'll get to it.
Oh, I think I know.
After they returned to the
Sharing
U.S.
needles?
Nope.
Okay.
After they returned to the U.S. from Canada. So CDC is also tracking multiple clusters of monkeypox that have been reported in early to mid-May in several countries that don't normally report monkeypox, including Europe and North America. It's not clear how people in those clusters are exposed to monkeypox, but cases include people who self-identify as men who have sex with men. CDC is urging healthcare providers in the U.S. to be alert for patients who have rash illnesses, regardless of whether they have travel or specific risk factors for monkeypox. So now we're getting monkeypox out here. We still got COVID. There's a war.
Yeah.
Always impending nuclear doom.
Sure.
Back
Don't
in the
forget
news.
About that.
Weird villains are buying Twitter and then not buying Twitter.
Death is always on the horizon.
Death is always right there.
You just don't know.
It's hot as hell.
Yeah. Is it hot enough for you, though?
It's so hot.
Oh, my God.
It's not even June yet, and it's so fucking hot.
88 degrees.
It's 90-something right now.
Oh, my car in the way.
89. It was 90 a little bit ago. So, yeah.
So it is hot enough for you.
Yay, life. But, yes.
Well, this season has been a lot of fun.
Season, a lot like the other seasons. It's just real depressing. Nothing great happening.
No.
Other than, I
I
bet I know what you're about to say.
People change in life, you know.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes you find new passions,
Right.
you know. And I'd like to say, at the age of 42, I've opened up. I started to change a little bit.
Okay.
I'm a PlayStation guy.
Oh, okay.
How about that?
Wow.
And since we've recorded, I not only got a PlayStation 3, I've gotten a PlayStation 4.
Okay.
I got the PlayStation 2 last summer.
So you feel...
I've never had a PlayStation. I was always Sega, Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
You know, I just never went down the PlayStation route.
Right.
Route.
Yeah.
I almost did with Tony Hawk 1, because at first that was a PlayStation-only game, and then it came to the 64. But, like, I was close to buying a PlayStation then, and then luckily it came to the 64. Well, I bought a PlayStation 3 from a friend, and I liked it. I played a game called The Last of Us, and it's probably the first game that I actually, like, beat by myself in a really long time. I got really into the game. It's a lot of fun. And the second one's on the PlayStation 4, so that was like...
Well, I don't think the game's a lot of fun, right? The game's like kind of like a very...
Oh, scary as hell.
Depressing.
Yeah,
dark.
it is. It is. It's really sad, depressing, but I mean, it made my heart beat.
Yeah.
Made me feel alive.
Right, you...
All right.
For the first time
For the first time in a long time, your boy felt alive. But like in my wildest dreams, it's like, man, now I gotta try to find a PlayStation 4. And I was kind of eyeballing them. I saw one for $250 online. I found one locally for $200. And I had a yard sale last week, and our buddy came over, Jeremy Freed. I'll say his whole name. This is incriminating.
I was just say, why would it be?
I was like, Jeremy.
Unless the story leads to, so we murdered a whole lot of people and took the PlayStation
I'm gonna leave that
4.
part out. So anyway, we cleaned the blood off. No, but he came over, and like I do, I was showing shit out. He came to my yard sale, and I was like, "Oh, I got so much more inside." And we went inside to cool off from the heat, and we were eating Taco Bell or whatever. He brought me lunch. He's a good guy.
Always a good thing to eat when it's really hot.
Yeah, well, I got up really early. I couldn't sleep the night before. I was so anxious for this fucking yard sale. It was the dumbest shit. But I showed him I had a TV title. We've talked about the red title with the red and
You worked
silver.
hard for it.
I did. I did trade a lot of shit to get to that. You know, and I've had it for over a year. And like he's like, "Are you wanting to sell that?" And I was like, "I would." Like I'm not
You
wanting
were the reigning
to.
and defending.
Yeah. I was like, if someone really gave me $200 for it, I'd take it. And he's like, "Well, I got a guy who collects belts," and I was like, "You care if I call?" And I was like, "That guy's not gonna fucking pay $200 for this belt." I was like, "Sure, give him a call." Like, I'll take the $200. I could use it right now. Not just as a joke. I was like, "Or I'll trade for a PS4." And he's like, "Well, he has one." He's like, "Well, his kids use it to watch movies," and I had a Blu-ray player in the cell, so I was like, "Well, I'll trade him the belt, Blu-ray player for a PS4." And the guy brought over the PS4 in the box, like brand new condition, 11 games.
Shit.
And I've been playing PS. I went out before I even got the PS4 because we worked out the trade the night before. So that Sunday afternoon, me and Lily went to Walmart. I bought an extra controller and The Last of Us 2 with my yard sale money. And I was like, well, I hope this trade goes through. But then he brought it to me that night, and I've been playing PlayStation ever since.
Well,
I still have my Switch and my Xbox and everything else.
And your Sega and your...
Sega. I moved the Wii U and the GameCube in the Lily's room. It looks a lot better over there now. It's just, I have the 3, the 4, the Xbox, the Wii, and the Switch hooked up to the one TV. And I have the Sega and the PlayStation 2 over in the other room.
It's a lot of video gaming.
I have no life.
You need to get a Twitch stream going.
What I want to do, I want to just not have to leave the house.
Right.
So I think I'm there now.
Well, that's the dream.
Because I only had the PlayStation 3 for like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I went crazy and bought a bunch of games off Facebook. So I have a bunch of PlayStation 3 games to play. And now I already have like 22 PlayStation 4 games. And I've played pretty much one since I got it. So
if you can figure out how to make some income without leaving the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the dream.
Foot pics. If anyone wants to see pictures of my feet.
Oh.
Yeah.
You said
feet pics. Fuck pics. Whatever you want pics of.
I was like, you know what? I really
Slide in my DMs. Tell me what you want to pick of. And,
fuck pics.
Everyone's got a price.
So you were never a PlayStation kid then?
Nah.
Because I had...
Like triangle, square, circle.
Uh-huh.
Come on.
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I was definitely a PlayStation, but I had a 64 and a PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then I forget when I switched over to Xbox. It was probably because it was PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Was it PS3 or was it like did they jump to something else?
PS3 was first, and then the Xbox One came, or the Xbox whatever. Xbox 360 came out after the PS3.
So I never got the PS3.
I think.
I switched then to Xbox 360.
Because I didn't have either. I didn't have after Xbox. I didn't get a 360 or. I mean, I have one now because a friend gave it to me, but there's a couple of years I didn't even hardly play any video games, and then I got a Switch. Whenever it came out, and I was a Switch guy, and I got the PS2 last summer. I really like it. I played it a good bit still. And I of course got the 3, and now I got the 4.
I think I quit mostly with the PlayStation stuff because they don't fucking make enough of it. They make it to where you have to...
I remember every time, like the 3 and the 4 both when they came out were kind of difficult to get.
Yeah, it's just bullshit. Just like, if you want to fucking sell products, sell them so people can buy them.
Make enough, yeah.
Yeah. So you're not putting out rare collectible systems.
Yeah.
So there's no point to not mass produce them. Make a shitload so everybody can have one.
And I'll probably never get a 5 just for that reason. I can't imagine. I don't think I have anything worth enough to trade it.
It is dumb when it feels like the PlayStation 5 is like the most valuable thing you could possibly own in the world right now. So, or gas. Mm-hmm. Either one of those.
Oh. What if the PlayStation 5 ran on gas?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Thanks a lot, Joe Biden.
Well, as we all know, it's the president of the United States that controls.
I wish people would get upset about the lack of PS5s and blame that on Joe Biden.
Oh, I'm sure.
They do with the gas. We're gas prices is Joe Biden's fault. But I can't even find a PlayStation 5. Thanks a lot, Joe Biden.
I'm sure there are people that are saying that he's the reason why we don't have them for whatever reason.
And I don't know, the Xbox. The Xbox is they're called the One S now or something. What do you have?
I have Xbox One.
One. And now, but there's even one, that's, the Xbox One is kind of like the PS4. Those are the compatible.
Yeah, so then I think there is an Xbox.
One S?
One S.
Alright.
Yeah, then there's
something that's don't even take games. I don't want that.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I ordered, I remember, I forget what game it was. It was a couple years ago I ordered it. And I ordered off Amazon, and just the flat cardboard, thing came in, and I was like, they didn't fucking send the game.
You just downloaded,
and then I figured out there was a download, and I was like, why the fuck did you send me anything? Couldn't I just bought the code? Yeah.
I bought a lot of download games on the Switch, but I prefer to have hard copies.
Yeah, I'm like that with everything. Yeah, I mean, that's why. I mean, I listen to music a lot, on the computer, but I still like to own the physical copy.
Yeah.
So
cassettes. I was listening to cassettes last week.
Yeah,
I miss that sound where you stop the tape and you eject it, chink, and there's a guy at the yard sale too. You'll appreciate this. I had over 100 games I was selling, and some fucking t-shirt tucked into his jeans, white New Balance fucking guy comes up, he's like, "Oh, just watching all your movies on your phone like everybody else, huh?" And I was just sitting there trying to mind my own business. I'm sorry. He goes, "You're selling all your movies. Why? You watch them on your phone?" I said, "Well, those are actually all games." I was like, "I have all my DVDs inside. I don't want to sell those." "Oh, because people sell their movies because they want to just watch them on their phones." I was like, "Yeah."
Look, my fears are still valid, all right?
I was like, "Well, I kept all mine, sir." I was like, "These are games."
I'm still allowed to be afraid of the future.
The first guy of the day, we're getting so off fucking track.
It doesn't matter.
But he's he comes and looks. And first of all, I had all games and toys. So some people would just drive by so slow, and you could just see the realization wash over their face.
Yeah.
They're not just, who the fuck is this dork? And then peel off. So, but these one guys, they get out of their big giant truck and they come and look, and he's getting ready to and he stops at his truck and he's kind of staring off in the middle distance. He's like, "Yeah, kind of scared to drive out there anymore." And I was talking to someone else at the yard sale. And I kind of looked around. I was like, "Oh, he's talking to me." I was like, "What's that?" He's like, "Yeah, kind of scared to drive out here anymore. I got in a wreck last week." And I was like, "Oh, man. No way." He's like, "Yeah, I was leaving," just where he was leaving, pulling out the type of car that hit him. And you see right there. And I'm just like, just get in your truck and drive off. You didn't even buy anything, and you want me to listen to this shit? Everywhere he goes, he probably brings that fucking up that he got in a wreck last week.
He's just sitting there looking at you, just waiting. Yeah. As soon as you make eye, just please make eye contact.
I'm scared to drive out there.
I can't. Oh, there's the eye contact. Boy, it is scary out there, is it not?
Oh man, so that's the bad part about yard sales. And then another guy comes and he's like a almost retired army guy.
Yeah.
Which we thanked him for his service. No, whatever. But then he was like, "Yeah, but I think I need to move to Mexico and rename myself Hector Gers." What some like overly
very
Mexican
racist.
name. Yeah, he goes, and then I'll sneak back over, and then maybe the country will take care of me.
Yep.
I was like,
that's how that
are you going
works.
to buy video games?
So, sir, this is a yard sale.
I'm not here to like this. We're closed.
Yeah.
I jumped through my window, broke the glass head
fuck.
first just to get away from the fuck. And I just don't. If you're gonna buy something, talk about the thing you're gonna buy. Let's have a conversation.
People seriously just fucking. They love like. It's like everyone thinks they're about to start some sort of crazy like rebellion,
Yeah.
like that guy. Like,
Yeah.
just gonna move to Mexico, come back over. Like, does he want you to be like, yeah? You know what? Fuck yeah, let's
Fuck
go.
America.
Let's go get some more guys. We'll all go over to Mexico. We'll come back.
It'll take care of us then.
And that'll prove it.
Then the country will care
Like,
about us.
what is his goal?
I think his goal is to find people to just argue with.
Yeah, you're right.
I think he
You're
wants
right.
and then he wants, I've served in my country for which cool, man. That's your life decision.
You should make him list
No one
out-
made you do that. Like,
You should make him list out all of his accomplishments. Though. I don't like.
he's like, I've been in the army so long, and I've learned so much. Now they got me teaching.
Oh, I bet that's not true.
I was like, all right,
So, all right. Well, shit. We might as well get into the story
let's do it.
because I don't. If we keep going, it's going to definitely piss off everybody. So let's get into the story. We're not even going to take an ad break. This one's free.
Oh,
We're not going to make any money off this one.
man.
That's the stand I'm taking right now.
There goes my $450 hat I was going to buy.
Yeah, good luck with that. You're not getting that shit.
We weren't recording when we talked about that. But
No.
Go on.
But, that's Easter egg.
Patreon.
Yes. So, today we are going to jolly old England,
All right.
and not too far back,
Across the pond.
as it were.
That's it. Yep.
As it were. So, we're going to talk about a young lady named Rebecca Marie Watts, better known as Becky or Becks.
Becks.
She was born June 3rd.
Big match Becks.
Big match Becks, yeah. So she was born June 3rd, 1998,
Oh.
to her parents Tanya and Darren in Bristol, England. Her parents
Were
separated.
NASCAR races?
Bristol, yes. I don't know. We ain't going over that goddamn England.
We know they drive on the other side of the road.
Her parents divorced pretty soon after she was born.
I know that. Yep.
And she
That
moved
happens.
in with her father. So
Oh,
her
cool.
father and her stepmother. So it was
Yeah.
like didn't
Oh,
take
so he
didn't take
didn't-
old dad long to
Yeah.
jump back on the wagon. So hold on, I lost my place immediately. We haven't done this in a while.
Becks.
So yeah, her
98.
parents actually. So yeah, her parents hadn't been together, for a while. They had an on again, off again thing. When she was born, so like they weren't actually even really together when
Yeah.
she was born.
Like, hey, you bored? I'm bored. Let's fuck.
Yeah. So
Sometimes you get a baby when you fuck.
when she was born, her father wasn't even actually sure it was his,
Oh.
but he really loved her.
Yeah.
And later they confirmed through DNA testing that he was the father.
That bitch.
Maury was like, that's you. So she kept her mother's maiden name, but she moved in with her father Darren and her stepmother Angie. Her dad had been with Angie since Becky was only 2 years old, and Angie became basically her second mother. And she was very much just like one of Angie's birth daughters.
Yeah. Angie loved her.
Yeah. So Becky's birth mother Tanya had a lot of financial difficulties. So that basically just led to Becky staying with her dad and stepmom. Becky had an older brother named Daniel who also lived with the father and stepmother. He would later, though, move back in with his mother Tanya. The stepmom, Angie, she really loved children. She felt like Becky was her own daughter, and she had a son from a previous relationship named Nathan Matthews, who was
All these people fucking.
a lot of people fucking. Nathan was about 10 years older than Becky. So, in total, living in the household, you got Angie, Nathan, Darren, which is the dad,
Yep.
and then you got Danny and Becky. So, until Danny ended up moving. But there was a lot of issues kind of work out through, but nothing too serious. Becky was too young to know that there was anything like really off.
Yeah.
Danny was pretty pumped that he had an older brother to play with Nathan. But Nathan was kind of already older, and he didn't really want to be what they wanted.
Yeah.
He never really felt great
blood
about the situation.
No blood relation to them little bastards.
Yeah, so he was always a little bit jealous of the attention the other two got. He would only really spend time at the house on weekends, since his mom was caring for two other children now. And but he did become kind of overprotective of his mother, basically through that jealousy, because, he wanted her all for himself. But so he became a little overprotective. But Becky was really attached to Angie. She was a really shy kid. She was so shy that when she went to elementary school, she wouldn't let Angie leave her there. Like, she just kind of freaked out. So Angie ended up becoming an unpaid classroom helper.
That's healthy.
Just so they could.
Don't let the kid deal with that kind of shit.
Yeah. Just go ahead and make sure you're always there.
Coddle him.
Yeah.
Coddle
Yes.
the fuck. That's gonna be our one story that turns out okay.
Spoiler alert.
Season 3 starts just like that.
So it got worse when she went into the secondary school. So middle school.
Yeah.
Those crazy Brits. She was bullied because of her weight, and she ended up becoming anorexic at the age of 13. She ended up dropping down to less than 83 pounds.
Oh, wow. How many stones is that? Does it say?
I have no clue.
Okay.
I don't know how stones and
Isn't
pounds
that how
are.
they
They do
weigh
stones.
things over there?
But now I'm curious. How many stones in a pound? How many stones in a pound? Oh, that's... Yeah, I hate when they don't have it just even numbers here. So she was 83. So she was about almost 6 stones.
6 stones.
6
okay.
stones. Yeah, so, whatever that means.
Yeah, I think for that age and height, she needs to be at least probably 9.5 stone.
You're the doctor,
Yeah.
so...
I am 1 stone.
So Becky would come home every day from school crying. Eventually, she just refused to even go to school, fell behind in her grades, and she eventually became homeschooled for a while. So even though she wasn't at school anymore being bullied, she was now being bullied at home by her stepbrother Nathan. Like I said, he was jealous of her. He would make fun of her looks and her weight, especially knowing that she, was battling anorexia.
Oh, sure.
He'd just pile on. So she was able...
Siblings.
She ended up being able to recover from anorexia and working through that, but she continued to struggle with depression and anxiety issues. And that ended up leading to her seeing a lot of professionals over the years.
How much molasses does she have to...
I don't think there was any black strap molasses being prescribed in this instance, but I can't be sure.
Okay.
At one point in her life, she was the victim of what do you call it? Revenge porn, I guess is what they call it.
Oh, yeah.
She had been sexting with a young man, a peer, if you will, and she had sent him some dirty photos, and he told her that he was going to post them online.
Oh,
just being an asshole.
yeah.
Being a real piece of shit.
Ladies out there, you can send me all the pics you want. I won't post them anywhere.
Now, I
I'll
don't...
keep them all to myself.
Now, I don't love you using this situation to try to do that.
I'm so lonely.
I'm not a huge fan of it,
All right,
but I respect the game.
I just wanted to put it out there. If anyone's wondering, I wonder if Joel would post a nude pic if I sent it to him, and I won't.
Yeah, well, he won't. I wasn't.
You wouldn't either.
I wouldn't either, but
No.
you were talking about it,
Yeah.
so I didn't mean to. Anyways,
I wouldn't even show like a friend. I wouldn't be like, "Hey, look at this."
That's
Just show
fucking
him on my phone.
weird, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it.
I'm not going to name names, but there's a dude that me and you both know. that.
I know a few guys like that.
Well,
though.
I'll go
look
ahead
at this. I'm like, I don't want to look at that.
I'll go ahead and let you know who it is by just telling you this much.
I know.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So he used to. They were for like it was like a few weeks, just randomly this period of time, where he would like constantly text me pictures of girls.
Yeah.
And be like, look at this one or whatever.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And I was always like, she looks 15, dude. And he was like, she ain't, I don't think. Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I finally was like, don't stop it. Like, please stop. Please stop. And then I started hearing all kinds of other things about him later. But yeah, I was just like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, I never asked him. I never got a hold of him and be like, hey,
can you send me some more of those?
Yes.
Like, I don't want to see it unless it was like meant for my eyes.
So fucking weird and scummy.
I'm a gentleman.
So weird. So.
But she did not find a gentleman. She had a real asshole.
Yeah, so she ended up...
Not kick a dude's ass, ladies. If you need me to kick a dude's ass, that's doing that to you. Come on.
I will smack the shit out of people. I have been looking for someone just to open hand smack across the face because I feel like that is the ultimate,
backhand.
I could punch you in the nose or break your jaw, but like if I just smack you in the face and look at you like, now what?
Man, your smack would cause some damage.
Oh,
you got big old meaty paws.
Yeah, it's a good. I've done it before.
Yeah,
like you smack somebody and you look like I'm like, now what?
Yeah.
Like, because I just punked you out.
Yeah, you're a little bitch. What are you going to do about it? You gonna be a little bitch, or you going to...
And they're like, that smack hurts so much, I can't imagine what a fist would be, so I'm not going to do anything.
Yep, that'd be me.
Oh, it's great.
I'd apologize.
So, ladies...
I'd apologize. If you ever slap me, I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Ladies, if you ever need someone, just... it's good. Anyways.
Or fellas.
Yeah, or guys, if, you don't want to do it yourself, I'll go to prison. I'm pretty bored of life. So anyways,
I feel like you'd do really well in prison.
I think I would. Actually, I do think I would.
You'd make a lot of friends.
I wouldn't like the lack of air conditioning. I'll tell you that much, though.
You'd be grumpy.
I'd be grumpy as shit. Oh yeah, like the food's awful. I think. I don't know. I assume it's still awful.
I don't think you have Xbox in there.
I'm judging by TVs and movies. I could read a lot though.
Yeah.
I could read a lot.
Work out a lot.
Beat up the biggest guy.
Sure.
What if I'm the biggest guy, though?
Oh, damn, yeah.
Then I'm always the target. Yeah. I don't want to be shivved, either. I feel like that would suck.
All right, maybe you would do well.
I don't think I'd do well. And when you first go in, like, I'm pretty sure they have to do that whole, like,
cavity
search and stuff. I'm not interested.
Yeah. I mean, it's been so long for me. I'd be like, let's see where this goes.
I'm so glad you took the bait.
Let's see where this goes,
After the guy threatened to post...
You can probably try another finger up there. Let's try it out.
So after the pictures were threatened to be posted, Becky told the caseworker she was seeing around May of 2014, she was really worried that her father would throw her out.
16 years old.
Yeah. And there's some fucking... Even if it's the same age as her.
Yeah.
Just real fucking...
Man.
Which I'm pretty sure that dude could still... Like, even if you're 16... I think that kid would still go to prison. I think, can't you still go to prison for, like, child porn?
Well, he'd probably go to, like, juvie or something.
Or whatever it is, yeah. So, yeah, she was really worried more than anything about her dad throwing her out of the house.
Yeah.
Which he had in the past. She got in an argument one year with her father around Christmas, and he kicked her out of the house. She went and stayed with some friends. But it kind of, like, created this weird anxiety in her where she was constantly in fear of being abandoned.
Eggshells,
yeah.
I'm
well,
sure.
she just, thought she was going to be, like, kicked out of the family.
Yeah. Mom's kind of, you can't really rely on mom by the sounds of it. And then your dad doesn't sound very good.
But her stepmom, was always kind of in her corner.
Yeah.
But, so she's 15 years old, or when she's 15 years old, her stepmom was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Caused a lot of stress and tension at home as everyone had to start picking up the slack.
Can you get just like one sclerosis, or is it always multiple?
I have always wondered why it's multiple sclerosis, because I've never ever heard of anybody just having sclerosis.
Do we all have sclerosis?
Sclerosis?
Yeah, like just one.
And then you have like multiple, and that's bad?
Like multiple, and that's bad.
I'm going to say yes.
Yeah.
As a doctor.
Okay. I thought I was the doctor.
Oh, shit, that's right. So what do you say?
I think so.
Okay. Well, I'm glad the doctor agreed with me. So when Becky was 16 years old, she started to turn things around a little bit. She still struggled with anxiety and depression, but she started building up a little bit more confidence. She was kind of getting interested in, clothes and makeup and shoes, like, 16-year-old girl things. She was socializing more, making friends at school, and started dating a guy named Luke Oberhansley, which is just a crazy name.
Yeah.
So one night, February 18th, 2015, she's out at a local rugby club, and she's hanging out with some friends. They're playing games, watching movies. She texted her boyfriend. They were texting back and forth all night, and he gets a text that says, "I love you so much," and he's trying to respond, and didn't hear back from her. She wasn't responding to texts. She wasn't responding to her boyfriend, her friends. She wasn't, posting on social media or anything like that. Which that's when there's a real problem. When somebody's not posting on social media.
Oh, yeah.
It's the only way any of us know that other people are alive.
Uh-huh.
So she doesn't turn up.
I don't feel right until I see that your Wordle is on Twitter.
That's why I do it, because I want you to know everything's okay, baby boy. Everything's okay.
Papa Bear's doing good.
So
I'm older than you, so
yeah,
I don't know. I'm baby boy, and you're
I still
Papa
think
Bear.
I'm the Papa Bear.
Oh, you are.
So
your beard's bigger.
That's right. Yes. So when she doesn't, although yours is getting there,
nothing to sneeze at.
When she doesn't turn back up at home, her mom and dad, her stepmom and dad can't get a hold of her now. They can't reach her, so they're getting really worried.
So he just kicks her out of the house.
So
you know what?
If you don't want to come home, you're kicked out.
You're kicked out.
So they were worried, but
Sure.
they thought she's probably just with some friends. Her phone's maybe dead. She's just being a 16-year-old, So that was the 18th. So by the 20th, she still hadn't got home. And now they're starting to think, hey, it's 2 days. That's not good.
Yeah.
So they call the police and report her missing. So nobody had seen her at this point in 48 hours. Police show up. They take a report. They find that her phone, laptop, and tablet were all missing from the house. But she hadn't taken any money or spare clothes with her. They spoke with family and friends and discovered that she didn't tell anyone she was going away. The last time anyone had spoken to her, she seemed completely fine, like everything was normal. It was also just really out of character for her to do this kind of thing, especially
she's fucking 16.
Well, yeah, and especially the not responding to her boyfriend and friends.
Oh yeah.
So, police, are collecting everyone's statements, and they get the statement of a young lady by the name of, and I'm going to say her last name, and I need you to be an adult.
Okay.
All right.
Is it grab a dick?
No, that'd be hilarious.
Okay.
I need you to be a grown-up for me here.
Okay.
So, they interviewed a young woman by the name of Shauna Hoare. Okay, so, Shauna Hoare you good?
I feel like Beavis and Butthead on that one episode where the teacher was like, "You cannot laugh during sexual education." Yes. I'm good. I'm okay. Right. So what did this slut say?
Oh, wow. So, it's spelled Hoare. Hoare.
Oh, he's like Ed McMahon.
Hoare.
She's not Hoare.
So, she's the girlfriend of Nathan, the stepbrother.
Okay, yeah.
So, we'll get into Shauna and Nathan here in a few, because it's not great. Shauna said, she told the police that she'd been in the family home on February 19th, so that's the day that Becky went missing. She was there because she was the in-home care for stepmom.
Okay.
With the multiple sclerosis, she helped take care of her. So she said that she believes that she heard Becky in the house that morning. She didn't see her, though, but she thought she had heard her moving around in the house. She'd heard her coming down the stairs and leaving the front door and slamming it when she left. So she just assumed that that was Becky. Yeah. She thought Becky had been there and left.
That sounds like a teenage slam to me.
Yeah,
all dramatic.
Throwing a tantrum, coming down, yeah.
Huffy puffy.
So, with that information and statement, police are thinking that it's probably...
but this is coming from a whore, so...
From a hooah. So, police are thinking that Becky ran off. And they really didn't get too serious about things.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, she
They don't want to work.
No, well, working's the
Like
worst.
16, she probably ran away.
You know, what are we supposed to do?
Well, she doesn't need money and clothes.
No, she's got her tablet.
Yep.
So she's good.
Kids.
Yeah, you know.
Kids.
We're going to go back and fuck off.
Mate. I don't know.
Mate.
But they wouldn't say that in England, bloke.
I did, so I saw the texts, like a screenshot of the last text that the boyfriend sent and got. And, you know, God love the Brits. But
God love the Queen.
God love the Queen. But, you know, she's like, I love you and everything. And he's like, I love you too, XOXO, whatever. And then, like, you can tell that he's trying to get a hold of her, like, the next morning, you know.
Hello.
And he's like, Becky, whatever, you know, Becks or whatever. And then he's like, Oi. Becks. Oi.
Oi.
Where are you? Oi. Like,
Oi.
and I'm just like, what? Is that's so that is a thing.
Maybe instead of like question mark, they just say, Oi.
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 So.
Oi, oi, oi. That's definitely a no effects thing.
So, yeah. So, the police are just like, she probably ran off. You know, what do you want us to do?
Kids.
Her parents, though, knew that wasn't her. Like, she wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because, like we were talking about, she was terrified of being kicked out of the home.
Yeah.
So, she's not going to leave it on her own.
She has abandonment issues.
Yeah. So they, you know,
abandon herself.
they knew that she liked to go out with her friends and spend time away from the home, but she had never just like completely cut off contact from everyone. So they did what they could. They ended up starting a social media campaign with hashtag Find Becky. There was a missing poster attached to that, you know, and they spread it all over social media. About 2 million people were reached through this campaign, but nothing turned up. So on February 22nd, the Avon and Somerset police made their first appeal for information about her disappearance to the public. And the following day, her father and grandmother appeared at a press conference appealing for her return. Her family believed that she hadn't run away at all, but she had likely been kidnapped. So police searched the area for Becky, along with hundreds of volunteers. And they searched the woods, the lakes,
like
parks.
Sex trafficking, and that's just it's so scary.
But they couldn't find anything. Yeah. So they continued to interview the closest people around Becky. One of the pieces of information that just didn't seem to sit right with the police was one of the details given by Shauna. And they started to kind of focus in on Shauna and Nathan. So Shauna, during the police interview, the initial one, she was really giggly and nervous. Which, you know, was not how you would think somebody would be when you're talking to them about your boyfriend's sister disappearing. Nathan was the complete opposite. During his initial interview, he was basically just bored and acted like this was just interfering with his day, and that he really just didn't give a shit that she was gone. So he would even like tell them that he, you know, thought that she was stuck up and didn't treat people right, and that she was kind of a shitty person. So the police
hell of a guy.
Yeah, so the police had like a suspicion of these two. So Nathan had studied to be an electrician earlier in life, but he'd failed the course. So he became instead a delivery driver for Domino's Pizza and Chinese restaurant. He ended up joining the Territorial Army part-time, which is basically like weekend warriors type thing. Like kind of National Guard-ish is what I think it is. Kind of like similar to that. It was basically like a soldier in training, but not like a real... but he eventually quit that too. He had fibromyalgia, and he was kind of just always angry because he was always in pain from the fibromyalgia. He was always depressed, so he was just kind of like a violent, angry asshole all the time. He lived with Shauna, and the pair had met and began dating when Shauna was 14, and Nathan was
24?
20.
Wow.
So, you know, that's gross.
That's really gross.
So he was into young girls, you know, a 20-year-old dating a 14-year-old.
Like if she was 26 and he's 34, maybe
whatever.
that's not as bad, but man.
So, Shauna had a pretty bad childhood, though.
You don't say. The 14-year-old that dates a 20-year-old
Yeah.
had a bad childhood.
She had been taken into foster care as a child before moving back in with her birth mother, who had who had 7 other children. Shauna's mother and Nathan hated each other, which ended up pushing her more into his arms.
Yeah.
And they eventually moved in together in a small house near his mom's home. And she became the caregiver for Angie. So, she was there all the time around Becky. But because no one had seen Becky after Shauna had supposedly heard her leave the home, she hadn't been picked up on security cameras anywhere, which over there I think they have like a ton of the CCTVs, The police are starting to think maybe she never left the house at all.
Ooh.
So they asked Becky's dad, Darren, and the stepmom, Angie, to, leave the house for a while so they could come in and investigate, collect evidence. And while they were searching the house, they found blood on the door frame of Becky's, and on Becky's bed frame, as well as fingerprints in her room. So they sent the evidence off. And they ended up calling back in Nathan and Shauna for some more questioning. And these interviews, both Nathan and Shauna claimed that they disliked the way Becky had treated Angie and Darren. They felt like she was self-centered and kind of took advantage of them.
Like she's 16. What do you
she's 16 years old.
Out of a fucking 16-year-old?
But, with everything they said, I watched the interrogation videos.
Uh-huh.
Like the different interviews and stuff, and like it's beyond obvious that these were rehearsed statements, especially coming from Shauna. Hers are like, she's going. If 50 people would have asked her at 50 different times, she would have given you the exact same every little,
answer.
So even though they both admitted that they didn't care much for Becky and all this stuff, they really just still didn't have anything to pin on either of them. So they let them both go. The next day, though, the fingerprints came back, and they found out that the blood matched Becky.
Oh.
It was Becky's blood, and the fingerprints were Nathan's.
Ah.
So now they got some evidence. So now they go back and arrest Nathan and Shauna for suspected kidnapping at this point. Because they still don't have they don't have a body, nothing. So they just think kidnapping. So they go and they arrest.
Still hoping she's alive.
Yeah, everybody's still,
I mean, probably not a lot of blood that they found. Probably just like trace amounts.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, but I don't know.
So again, you can watch the videos online, but it's so. Like, again, it's so beyond obvious that they're both full of shit. Like, Shauna keeps doing this thing where they'll ask her, are you sure there's nothing else you can remember? And when they ask her that, she'll be like, nope, that's that's not how you react.
Yeah. Like you either know something or you don't.
Yeah.
And then anything else you remember? No, I told you everything.
I say at one point she just goes, well, because they even kind of ask her about like her strange pauses and stuff, and she's like, I'm just trying to make sure there's not any like minute detail that I'm not thinking of that could maybe help you guys, like just anything. And
we did kill her.
Is that important? So yeah, she's completely full of shit. She eventually just keeps. She eventually just shuts down. They both do.
Yeah.
Because Nathan just keeps denying everything. He keeps a totally straight face again. He could give two shits about any of this. So while they're interviewing these two, though, they go to Sean and Nathan's home to search it, and it is a fucking, like, just filth.
Yeah.
Like, hovel. There was shit everywhere. They kept a toaster and a kettle next to their bed so they didn't have to get up. To go, like,
it takes a lot of ingenuity and work to be lazy sometimes.
Sometimes, yes. There was just shit stacked everywhere. Like, they were basically hoarders.
Yeah.
The only thing in the house, though, that was clean, that was, like, spotless clean, You want to take a guess? Yeah.
The bathtub.
The bathtub. It was fucking spotless.
They done cut her up in the bathtub.
And they found receipts for a circular saw, goggles, and face masks.
It's important to keep receipts for that stuff.
Well, you got to turn in for your taxes. So with the information on the receipt, they pull the security footage from the store, and there's Nathan and Shauna buying these things. So they've got video evidence now. They've got the receipt. They've got all sorts of evidence.
I'm sure they can't find that stuff in the apartment. The goggles, the circular
I didn't say they did, so I would hope they at least got rid of that shit.
Yeah.
So they go back and they present this new evidence to Nathan. Let him know, hey, we fucking got you.
Yeah.
And he immediately knows it's over.
Blame Shauna?
No. So he asks to speak to his lawyer, and while he's speaking to his lawyer, he writes out a written confession, which says, I, Nathan Charles Matthews, date of birth. I was going to read this in a British accent, but I feel like that is probably disrespectful. Date of birth, 9th of
So now we give a fuck about that.
Except that I'm responsible for the death of Rebecca Watts on the 19th. Why did they fucking write this way? On 19th February 2015,
Blimey!
Hello, Governor. I attended 18 Crown Hill Street in Bristol with my girlfriend Shauna Hoare. 18 Crown Hill is where my mother lives with Darren Galsworthy. Rebecca Watts also lived there. Shauna is my mother's registered carer, so we regularly go to the house to help with housework and other help my mother needs. Although we usually went there on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we did also go there on other days.
Oh, okay.
Great, Nathan. Thank you. On Thursday, 19th February, part of the reason for going around was to return a 10 to my grandmother. My grandmother was due to take my mother to a medical appointment and bring her back. In my car, I had a large bag, a stun device, handcuffs, tape, and a mask.
Is this Dennis Reynolds?
Yes, his tools. I need my tools. I had developed an idea to scare Rebecca by kidnapping her.
Yeah, the old fake kidnap scare.
Fake kidnap. Teach her a lesson. I wanted to kidnap her.
What the fuck's the lesson? Hey, I'm a fucking asshole.
He's going to tell you.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to kidnap her to scare her and teach her a lesson. I believe that she was selfish, and her behavior towards my mother was a risk to her health. When we go to 18 Crown Hill, we let ourselves in with a key my mother had left in the recycling box. Upon entering the property, we all went to the front room. A few minutes after arriving, Shauna said she wanted a cigarette and went into the garden. So, when...
she wanted a fag in the garden?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So, when they were in the garden, which I don't know why he wrote it that way, that's not... It's weird you'd say when they were in the garden. Yeah. Anyways.
Well, maybe what's the girl's name? Disappeared?
Shauna.
No, the one that disappeared. What's her
Becky.
name? Becky. Maybe Becky was out there smoking with her.
Oh, no, he talks about getting Becky.
Okay.
Maybe
I should shut up and listen.
Maybe Sean identifies as a they. I don't know. When they were in the garden, I went to the boot of my car and took out a bag which contained the other items.
Boot?
The boot.
What is that?
That's the old trunk.
Ah, okay.
It's a boot. I took everything upstairs to the landing. I think I took the items out of the bag before knocking on Rebecca's door. She replied, "What?" or "Hello," and I said, "Can I see you a minute?" or similar words. Nobody gives a shit, Nathan, really, about that.
She said, "Keep on knocking, but you can't come in."
Rebecca then opened the door. I am wearing a mask. I cannot be sure in which order things happened immediately after she came to the door, but I used the items I had to subdue Rebecca. During a short struggle, my mask slipped, and Rebecca was able to see my face. This caused me to panic, and I strangled her while she was partially in the bag.
As a joke. As a prank on her.
I collected the items I had used, put them and Rebecca into the bag, and zipped up the bag. I also took her phone, tablet, and laptop, together with her shoes, some clothes, and a duvet cover from the spare room in a separate bag. I took everything downstairs and put it in the boot of my car. Back in the house, I waited to hear Shauna then slam the front door shut. Before going into the front room, I checked that Shauna was not in that room, and then go and sit on the sofa. The rest of the day at the house goes as it would normally. We leave at about 7 p.m. I go and lie on our bed, which is what I would normally do, which sounds just like a great existence. Just I went home and I
wait for my toaster to toast.
laid down and looked at the ceiling. The rest of the evening passed as usual, but I cannot remember exactly what we did. After Shauna went to bed and sleep, I waited a while and went out to the car and brought the bags in the house. The following day, we went back to 18 Crown Hill, and I tried to behave. I tried to behave as normal as I could. When we returned home, I again waited for Shauna to go to sleep. This time, I collected the bag with Rebecca's body and take it to the bathroom. I took the body out of the bag and placed it in the bath. In order to stop Shauna using the bathroom the following morning, I poured drain cleaner down the toilet so I could tell Shauna it was blocked again. Which,
what?
That's not what drain cleaner does.
Drain cleaner would clean it.
So you would unclog it.
Yeah.
You idiot.
He's not a criminal mastermind.
Not a great one. The toilet would often go blocked, and when that happened, I knew Shauna would not go into the bathroom. My memory of the days that followed is not perfect, so I'm not sure which day I returned home, having left Shauna, or at my mother's, but I think it was Saturday. When I got home, I tried to dispose of the body by cutting it up with a circular saw. Initially, I wrapped up the body parts and took them back downstairs and hid them. I'm not sure how many days later, but on another day, I took the body, the saw, and other items to a different location and placed them in a garden shed. So he's had her body for days, cutting it up.
Just don't go in the bathroom. The toilet's clogged. Don't use the sink either to brush your teeth.
I took them to the address with two other people.
It sounds like he's just trying to keep Shauna out of trouble, but I'm sure
that's exactly what's happening.
Shauna's probably horror deep into this.
I took the body parts to an address with two other people. I did not tell them what was in the bags and box, and I said I would collect them in a few days. I have chosen to give my account by means of a written statement because I believe I have mental health and learning difficulties that make it difficult for me to say out loud. Also, I find it difficult to express the detail in this account in spoken words. I would like to add that my denials to date have been motivated in part by a wish to avoid the pain and disappointment these admissions would cause to my partner and family. I would like to admit that the reason I was lying is because I didn't want to get caught.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be bad for me, and I didn't want to do it.
I don't want to do that.
The statement was written by my solicitor, but it had been read by me and confirmed that this is an accurate account. Shauna did not know anything about me causing the death of Rebecca or my attempt to dispose of and hide the body. Had she known, she would have reported me to the police.
But they were both on video buying that stuff.
So he's completely full of shit. Police didn't buy that at all.
Yeah.
They knew that he was covering for her, you know.
Which, I mean, I guess, I don't want to call it a good mood, but...
it's like the most admirable thing he had done, I guess, in his life.
But still a shitty thing because Shauna's a murderer, too, and fuck her.
So, she was, which the reason why he probably was trying to keep her out of prison, turned out she was pregnant with his child.
Yeah.
But... Police go back to question Shauna again, and they tell her, hey, Nathan confessed to killing Becky, and she acted surprised.
What?
Yeah, but, like, she did a terrible job of acting. You know, like, she already knew that the plan was for him to confess if they got caught and to leave her out of it. So, you know, she was like, he did what now? You know.
That doesn't sound like Nathan at all.
She continued to deny any involvement. The police end up, you know, going to find the dismembered body parts where Nathan said they were. He had cut her up into 8 different pieces, I guess. The garden shed that he put the body parts in was owned by by friends of the couple, of Nathan and Shauna. They admitted to assisting him out with this, and apparently they said that Nathan had offered them 10,000 pounds.
Jeez.
Or a share of 10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how much they knew, but like you would think of someone who's like, I will give you however much of this 10,000 pounds if you'll keep these random things. You have to know it's not good.
And I'm sure it's on the news by then.
Yeah.
That, you know, she's missing. And I mean, a couple days later it would come out.
But Nathan is charged with the murder of Becky Watts. The police don't have any evidence against Shauna. But they definitely think, you know, she's not innocent.
Yeah.
So they continue to investigate.
She's not that innocent.
What song is that?
Britney Spears.
Britney Spears. I knew I could hear it. I just couldn't think of what it was.
I don't know what song it is, though.
So they continue to investigate her.
Yeah.
And they discover some text messages between her and Nathan. And this is just...
Is it about a safari hat with flaps?
That would be great.
Yeah.
No, this is not. So, in one... These text messages were back and forth about kidnapping young teen girls.
Oh.
So this was all like leading up, like this was all like right prior to what happened with Becky. So in one message, Nathan texts Shauna, "Fuck you, bring me back 2 pretty schoolgirls then, winky face." She replies, "LOL, yeah, I'll just kidnap them from school." That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So later on in the same day, she sends Nathan a message that said, "Just went to Cost Cutter and saw a very pretty petite girl. Almost knocked her out to bring home. LOL, XOXO. He replied within a minute and said, "Don't you almost me. Now fucking do it, bitch." She said, LMFAO, yeah, I'll just go back in time to when I saw her, time travel with her out to our attic. LOL. So these are both just annoying and awful people.
Yeah.
So the police confiscated other evidence that kind of led to, of their perverted obsession with this shit. They had looked up pornography that focused on teenagers, young women dressed as schoolgirls, and threesomes.
I mean, if that, no.
So they were like, that was kind of their whole thing. Like, they
Yeah.
wanted a young teen girl to, make their sex slave, basically, is what...
That's so gross.
Yeah. So they had the evidence to charge Sean, now they have the evidence to charge Shauna with at least interfering with the police investigation. And they ended up turning out into charging her with murder as well. So Nathan and Shauna were both charged with conspiracy to kidnap, preventing the lawful burial of a body, and possession of an illegal weapon. And then they were charged with 4 unrelated counts of making indecent images of children. So they had some child porn too. So they're just
pieces of trash.
just awesome.
Yeah.
In court,
Horrible.
the family had to hear of the horrific way that Becky was killed. Becky had suffered more than 40 bruises to her body, as well as 19 knife wounds that had been inflicted after her death. What doesn't make sense is Nathan at one point says that, he admits to their plan being that they were going to kidnap her and use her as their sex slave, because she's not technically blood related, so it's not.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, I'm not okay. I didn't mean to make that
Yeah.
But
So there's nothing wrong with it. It's not blood related.
when I first heard it, I was just like, oh, that's even worse. And then I was like, oh wait, no, it's stepsister. Yeah, but it's still fucking awful.
But he said he choked her.
And
His
stabs
mask came
her.
off.
Yeah, and if you're just at some point you can, if what he said happened, as soon as the mask comes off, you can kind of just be like, shit, I was trying to fuck with you.
Yeah.
So no, he clearly went and killed her.
Yeah.
So she was dismembered, wrapped up in cling wrap stuff. They wrapped her up in bath mats and a shower curtain, and then they hid her away in a suitcase. Nathan continued to stick to his story, though. He admitted killing Becky, but denied actually committing a murder, saying it was just an accident.
Yeah.
Again, saying that he tried to kidnap her as a way of scaring her and changing her behavior. And he insisted that the killing took place while Shauna was out in the garden and was not involved at all. Shauna, who also, continually denied having anything to do with it, she said that those texts about kidnapping schoolgirls in the month before were just her being sarcastic and joking.
Yeah.
The way you do.
Sure.
Just joking about that.
Kidnapping and knocking out young ladies.
So the trial lasted about 5 weeks, and in the end, Nathan was found guilty of murder and was sentenced to 33 years in prison, or sentenced to a minimum of 33 years in prison. So he could end up going longer. Shauna was found guilty of manslaughter and is serving 17 years. Apparently, Nathan is currently in prison. He is fucked with a lot, so that's good. That's awesome to hear. However,
Just to scare 'em.
unfortunately for Shauna, she's apparently at a facility that allows for they have dances and meditation sessions and yoga, and then they have movie nights.
Gross.
Yeah, so you
He
know,
doesn't get a movie night.
good for Shauna
Yeah.
for getting put up in like a pretty sweet facility apparently. But yeah, so that's the story of how fucking terrible Nathan and Shauna were,
That's pretty bad.
and poor Becks, who
Becks.
you know
Hashtag find Becky.
apparently wasn't perfect enough for or whatever the fuck weird shit they were going to do with her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yay, season 3.
Feels good.
And that concludes season 3,
Oh,
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's talk about
I think
that.
that's what we said we were going to do.
This is the last episode first, and we're going to build towards the first episode last.
Yeah.
It'll make sense as we go.
I hope. It doesn't make any right now.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
I'm very confused by it.
I know.
I don't do well with time travel. Are we time traveling? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
I'm very confused by what we're
too
doing.
much away yet.
Okay,
I got slowly.
I'm glad you know the whole plan.
I got slowly open your eyes to it.
Hey,
don't wanna
I
blind
trust.
you.
I trust that you have it all figured out.
That's not a wise decision.
Oh well, that didn't sound. That's not promising. All right, well, let's try not to be going for a month again.
Nah, I don't know. I can't promise.
We'll see. I mean, we may die of the heat.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate hot weather so fucking much.
It's just disgusting.
It is. It is. So, you know.
Because, like, you know, it's that time of year where, like, you see old guys out in their yard, like, topless. And you're like, come on. Like, you're making me feel bad about my physique.
Right. But at the same time, I'm entering that age to where I'm just like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like,
I see people out there with their shirts off, like, I can't do it still.
oh man, I'm there.
What if I'm, like, at a pool? Like, I'll take
Yeah.
my shirt off at a pool. Fuck it.
No, I'm already there now. I'm
Yeah.
like, it's too fucking hot.
Let's take our shirts off, go outside.
All right. I will.
I'll do it.
I don't
Me
know.
first.
What are we gonna do?
Let's take our shirts off. You take mine off, I'll take
Are we
yours
just gonna
off.
stand there?
Yeah.
Just.
And flex.
We're
Suck
doing
our
it.
guts in and look at people.
I like that. I like that idea.
Beef up.
I really do like. Let's go do that.
All right.
Oh, it's too fucking hot.
All right.
Let's not
That's
do
why
it.
we're taking our shirts off.
I don't think it's gonna be enough. I'm gonna take all my pants too.
Oh,
And then if we can get a hose and you just hose me.
oh, yeah. We take turns hosing each other off.
Yeah, but I want most of the hosing.
Okay.
It's so hot. All
you're,
right.
you're a selfish lover.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. No. Only when it's hot.
Yeah.
So that's the moral of the story. It's too fucking hot out.
Too fucking.
I don't know. We'll come
Don't
back.
ever kidnap someone, even as a joke.
No.
I think we'll be back next week. I have a good feeling about it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You have a feel good? Is that your feel good?
That's my feel good. I think we're going to be back next week.
I'm not playing the music for that. All right, we'll be back with I don't know what episode it'll be of season 3.
Yep.
Because I don't understand what we're doing. But we'll be back with an episode of
Yep.
season 3 next week.
Woo!
Until then, stay safe, stay cool,
Keep your shirt on.
keep your shirt on if you want, or take it off and send pictures. Bye.